Assalamualaikum, I'm Sarish. You are watching Learnenglishedu45 on YouTube channel. This is my lesson 12. So we discussed so many things in my previous lesson related to direct speech. So let's start with kinds of sentences. In my previous lesson we discussed interrogative, and in this we discussed exclamatory. What is exclamatory and how we use this exclamatory when we change direct speech into indirect speech. So let's start with the definition and examples. So definition is sentences which expresses state of joy or sorrow or wonder is called exclamatory sentences. So here are the few examples. So let's start with these examples. Hooray, we won the match. Number 2, alas, I failed the test. Number 3, wow, what a nice shirt it is. So these are the examples of exclamatory sentences. Basically, in exclamatory sentences, we have to identify that which is this joy, sorrow, or wonder when we change direct speech into indirect speech. So let's start with the examples. So first we recognize that how we change direct speech into indirect speech. There are some rules and terms and conditions that we must follow when we change direct speech into indirect speech. So reporting verb said to or said will be changed into exclaim. Instead of using said or said to when we change direct speech into indirect speech, we use exclaim. So number 2, use the conjunction word that. In my previous lesson I told this so many times that when we change direct speech into indirect speech, omission of comma, we use the conjunction word that, same as it is in this. So these are few expressions that we recognize with these terms, exclamatory sentences. Hooray, ha, expression of joy. Alas, or expression of sorrow, regret, or lose. Now bravo, expression of surprise. So these are the expressions when we change direct speech into indirect speech we use. So let's start with example number 1. He said, comma, hooray, my friend has come. Now how we change this? He exclaimed. Instead of said, what we used exclaimed. Hooray, instead of hooray we use joyfully. Now omission of comma, what we use the conjunction word that. My, instead of my, what we use here his according to a subject, and subject is here he. Friend, and here it is a present, so we change this into past, had come. Now come to the second. The boy said, ah, my kite is high up in the air. The boy, instead of said, what we used exclaimed with joy. Ah is the symbol of joy. So my, instead of my we use here his, and omission of comma that, his kite, and here it is a present tense, so present tense changed into past tense, was high up in the air, same as it is. Number 3rd example, they said, oh, we have won the match. So they exclaimed. Oh is the symbol of joyfully, and omission of comma we use the conjunction word that, and we, instead of we use here according to a subject, and subject is here they, so we write here they, and present tense is used here, present perfect. So present perfect changed into past perfect, had won the match. Now come to the next example. He said, alas, I failed in exam. Now instead of said, what we used here exclaimed, and alas is a symbol of, is an expression of sorrow. She exclaimed with sorrow, and omission of comma, what we use here that, and instead of I, and I is the first person, and first person is changed according to a subject, and subject is here she, so failed. Now here it is a past indefinite tense. When there is a past indefinite tense, so we change this according to a past perfect. So past perfect, here it is had failed in the exam, same as it is. Now the next example, the child said, wow. The child said, what a beautiful sight. Now this is the expression of delight. So what we use here the child. Instead of said, we write here exclaimed with delight, omission of comma. We write here that it was. Now here it is a present tense, so we use here past tense, was a very beautiful sight. Now this is the last example. The candidate said how difficult the problem is. The candidate exclaimed with disapproval that the problem was very difficult. I hope you understand this whole lesson. If you have any query related to this topic, please text below my video, and if you are new, please subscribe my channel. I need your support. Huda Hafiz. God bless you. Stay home.